Oireachtas Smith, you have 30 seconds to introduce.
Minister, as you are aware, there's a cohort of people who have now reached pension age or about to reach pension age who were paying the insurance contribution towards having a contributory pension. Then their insurance record was broke when they availed of Farm Assist. Can you assure me that the plight of those people will be considered in the consultation process that you have underway or maybe well advanced in relation to calculation of entitlements to contributory pensions? Thank you. Mr
Deputy, the Farm Assist scheme was introduced in 1999 to provide income support for low-income farmers, I think indeed by your own party at the time. It replaced... Pardon? There you go, good man. It replaced the former smallholders unemployment assistance payment that was in existence then, and in line with the then existing arrangements for unemployment assistance, including that smallholders payment and pre-retirement allowances, the income of Farm Assist recipients was exempt from Class S PRSI payments for self-employed workers. Receipts of Farm Assist who had previously paid Class S social insurance had the option of paying voluntary contributions to maintain their social insurance record, provided obviously that they satisfied all of the qualifying conditions. And since the 1st of January 2007, the exemption from Class S PRSI has been removed, and those receiving Job Seekers Allowance and Farm Assist are subject to Class S PRSI as self-employed contributors on their self-employed income, provided obviously that their annual income is over €5,000 per year. There are currently no plans to amend the legislation regarding the state pension contributor to award a maximum rate of payment to pensioners who had such a period during 1999 to 2006, who were then exempt from paying PRSI contributions. However, a person aged over 66 with limited PRSI contributions over the course of their life can obviously claim a non-contributory pension from the state if they have an income need, and this entitlement is not based on any social insurance contribution. It's paid on the basis of need. The maximum weekly rate is €232, which is just over 95% of the maximum contributory rate pension, and whilst it is means tested, there are some very significant disregards which are to the benefit of claimants, and a significant majority of such pensioners are indeed paid at that full rate. I hope that clarifies.
And thank you, colleague. I thank the Minister for a reply. Minister, you referred to the fact that the Farm Assist was introduced in 1999. Indeed, at that time, I recall, I'm sure Deputy O'Dea and Deputy Durkin and myself and most members of this House representing rural constituents were very strong in our advocacy for replacing the smallholders farm assistance or unemployment assistance at the time, and that your predecessor at that time, Dr. Michael Woods, and the late Joe Walsh as Minister for Agriculture were to the fore in bringing in that new scheme, which took account of present income circumstances, whereas the former smallholders assistance, to my recollection, was very much based on historical income for the previous 12 months, whatever, because we know farm incomes can change very much depending on maybe an outbreak of disease and a herd depopulation of a herd, total depopulation or partial depopulation, with income circumstances change very suddenly. Now, in the instances that I have come across, those farmers who in many instances took up Farm Assist for a short time, they continued to make tax returns. They were not informed by Revenue or by the Department at that time that they needed to make a contribution to continue their insurance record. Minister, there was always an understanding that if you were in receipt of a social welfare payment, that your social insurance record was maintained. That didn't happen in this instance. And the cases that I have come across are all people who did not employ an accountant. They weren't in a financial position to employ an accountant at that time. They made the returns themselves. They were not aware that their insurance contribution was being broken. And they had always had hoped, through making their insurance contributions, that when they came to pension age, they would be entitled to a full contributory pension. Unfortunately, that's not happening now. Thank you, Cahill.
I suppose I can't really speak to whether or how the Department or indeed the Revenue Commissioners would have imparted the information that would have been valuable to the people that you're addressing now. I can only look into it. But what I can obviously relate to is that the reasons as to why their records have been broken is resulting in them getting a lesser of a pension right now. The only thing that would have been available to them was to make that contribution, or indeed just before they retired was for them to buy the credits to be able to supplement their annual contributions over the years of their lifetime of work. I don't know if you're speaking about a large cohort of people, Deputy, or if you're speaking about a small number of people, but... Well, could I ask you a favour? Could I arrange a meeting where you and I would sit down and you would give me an example or examples of the people in your constituency so that I can follow through to see how many people have been impacted, whilst at the same time looking to see if we did or didn't genuinely inform people of what their options were, because it does seem obviously somewhat unjust what you've just brought to my attention. So can I get my office to give you a call later on and we'll have a proper talk about it? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Minister. I would be very glad to take up your offer of a meeting. And could I just say, in many instances you take where there's a dramatic change in farm income due to depopulation of a herd, maybe weather, seasons, all of that. No, the person who's filling out their own form isn't in a position to engage an accountant to do their paperwork. They often read the minimum amount. But I have put people through this. They were not informed by revenue of the break in their insurance contribution, nor were they informed by the department. But I'd be very glad to take up your offer of a meeting, and hopefully we can progress this matter and bring it within the consideration, the consultation in regard to the review of entitlements to contributory pensions.
Farmers that don't read the full documents is probably a charge that you can make against every single one of us. But the situation that you've described doesn't sound fair to me, so let's meet and talk about it.